Go get it! What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of Tucker and the Beard. This and every episode is brought to you by
Our respective real estate businesses. We are both top producing agents in the Prescott area, serving both buyers and sellers.
Yeah, so if you have any questions about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, or if you would like to become a sponsor for the show, you can call Tucker at
928-710-4690 or the Beard at
928-910-5954. Thank you guys so much for watching, man. We
Yes,
really
thank you.
appreciate it, and we rely on your support. So you can obviously find us on Facebook. You can also find us on YouTube, Google Play, Spotify, and iTunes for the audio-only version of our podcast. And it would really mean the world to us if you would take a minute to rate and review us on iTunes and head over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that little bell for notifications. We love Facebook, but they're not always the best delivery method for our content. You're not going to see everything that we put out. But YouTube does a really good job of that. So,
yeah. So give us a like and everything like that. But enough business. Let's get to the show.
let's go. Hey,
How's
we're
it
back.
going? We're here.
It's time for another movie review podcast.
Fantastic.
Heading into the summer season here.
We've got a full
we got a full
schedule.
boat. We got a full boat.
We've got 1 week where we're still figuring some stuff out, but for the most part,
Yeah, it's a Disney heavy summer this year.
yeah. Well, in all aspects of Marvel,
Of everything. Yeah, I mean, because
I'm pretty sure Disney owns me, and I just don't know it yet.
We just haven't been. We haven't
Cool.
discussed terms and conditions of the ownership policy at this point.
Yeah, exactly. They're just watching. It's like the Truman Show.
Yeah,
We'll figure it out.
but between actual Disney properties,
Or those
Pixar
owned.
properties,
Right.
Marvel,
Yeah.
everything,
Fox now.
Star
It's
Wars. Well, Star Wars isn't until the winter, but
Star Wars.
well, except for Friday.
Friday.
Friday is the day for all of you Star Wars fans
I know.
to shell
Huge.
out thousands of dollars of your hard-earned money to go and see Star Wars Land, which opens Friday at Disneyland in Los Angeles.
And you might say it in that way, but I think we know each other well enough to know I am that person. that you're
No.
speaking of.
I'm not mad at it. I'm just I'm always disenfranchised with the price of Disney park tickets.
Oh, 100%.
We ran the numbers, and for my family, 4 kids, 2 adults, actually. 4 adults and 2 children, because they count children as young as 12
Yes.
as adults.
Yes.
Strike one, Disney.
Yes. My kids will be 11 for quite some time.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, it's a lot to ask. But I
was-
sit there and go, it's Star Wars Land. I've already told my
It
wife
was
that it's
$2,000 for 4 days. It was over
Okay.
$2,000 for 4 days.
yeah.
So I mean, we're talking for my family of 6, and
That's
that's
not
if you buy the
including
4 day.
hotel.
No,
That's not including.
That doesn't even include parking. Man.
Right.
Parking's another $50 a day.
Well, we've done it before. We've gone multiple times.
Yeah.
We have
You
been
stay
in the
on
past.
property.
Well, we
and you
stay
take the shuttle.
across the street in like one of the
Yeah.
friendly neighbor hotels or whatever,
Yeah.
and just walk across the street.
Well, and, another thing too that's becoming more common, and frankly, if you can stay within like a couple of miles at like an Airbnb, and there's plenty of those, private rentals out there now.
Yeah.
Dude, it costs less to take an Uber to and from the park
Oh yeah.
than it does to actually park at the park.
Yeah, exactly. Or you get to
Or
one of the hotels.
the
and there's
ride share service of your
shuttles.
choosing. Yeah, or an
There's
airport
shuttles there
or a
everywhere.
park shuttle. So anyway,
Yeah.
Star Wars Land though opens up
Yeah.
kind of entry level. It's not full open. I think you still have to reserve spots if there are any actually available on the days that you're wanting to go.
I've
for the next
already
month or
told
so.
my kids that when we go, like they can go look at the rest of Disneyland and California Adventure Center. Like I'm going to be
in Star Wars land for all 3 full
At the
days.
Mos Eisley Cantina.
Drinking my blue milk. Like, and I'm like, you're going to see a grown man cry. Like, I'm just going to be sitting
No,
there.
I have
like,
no doubt that it's going to
it
be
is going to be
an amazing spectacle.
Yes, it is going to be a religious experience for me.
I'm sure it will be, my friend.
That, yes.
I like Star Wars an awful lot.
Yeah.
But I am not nearly the fan that you are.
I'd love to argue with you. No, it's just growing up
This
with
is
it.
what it
so
is, yeah.
Yeah.
I like the movies. I love the stories. Heck, with the exception of, like, I don't know, Episode 2.
Mhm.
I even like the prequel trilogy. You know, it wasn't bad.
See, people get up in arms about it going Star Wars for a second. I promise I won't pull at this thread too much. But I just appreciate it for what it is. Like, I'm not in charge of these stories. I'm not.
Exactly.
They're not hitting me up asking me for ideas of where these characters should go. So you just sit down, buckle up, and enjoy the ride. So,
Yeah.
and I consider it like my favorite movie, and I consider them all
Your
movie.
favorite thing.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
like
It is.
it's
one
long story.
It's to compare it to another rabid fandom. The Harry Potter series.
Oh, definitely.
That's one story that just happens to encompass 7 books and 8 movies.
Right. And if you were going to be like, what's your favorite Harry Potter movie? It'd probably be more difficult. You might have yours.
And
I
do.
probably have mine.
And I do.
But
Because the level of super fan that you are of Superman, Star Wars, I know you're
it's
not.
like I'm taking my mic off now. No, it's okay.
You know, I approach that level of fandom with Harry Potter. I've read all the books several times. I've seen all the movies several times.
Just a muggle.
Just a,
Just a muggle.
and it shows.
And it shows.
And it shows.
But
But anyway,
yeah.
without going too far down our,
I was like, I can pull up that thread all day. We can be here for a good hour.
and you know what?
We
Maybe
don't have
we'll do that for another
Just let me go.
episode. We'll just wind Tucker up and let him run free. But we went and saw a children's movie this week.
Yes, we went and saw the new
The new,
adaptation of Aladdin.
yeah.
And listen, I'm gonna flat out. I was really skeptic going into it.
As was I.
We grew up in a time where the Disney animated Aladdin, like, was wearing the crown.
Straight
like,
up classic.
Like that's what we grew up with, and so
I've seen that movie dozens of times.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Probably
I can
wore out the
recite-
VHS tape.
Yeah, I can point out the Easter eggs. That's one of the 1st
Mhm.
cartoons that I remember had little Easter eggs in it.
Yeah,
where you're
little-
just, like
Little sprinkles of
like
of
other
things.
Disney things, and you're like, what? And Robin Williams will always be.
the
the
greatest genie of all time.
He brought that, so I was really.
I remember
was really
seeing
nervous.
seeing the announcement that Will Smith had been tapped to play the genie, and going, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
And then I remember seeing the first trailer
And going. Oh,
in
no.
which Will Smith portrayed the genie and went, "Oh no!"
Yeah,
Like genuine, almost anxiety. Like, don't do this. Like I'm a fan of Mr. Smith.
as am I.
Big fan. All the way back from the DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince
Right.
days, like pre Fresh Prince of Bel Air days. I'm a
Right.
fan of Will Smith.
Oh yeah. No, it's
But and so my apprehension wasn't about him.
right.
It was about anybody.
Yeah, I thought Disney is doing this whole revamping thing, starting with Maleficent. I think there's probably other ones that
They did-
are Beauty and the Beast.
They did
and-
Maleficent. They did
Yeah.
Cinderella. They
They've
did Beauty and the Beast. They just released Dumbo earlier this year.
Right.
There have been several. They did the Jungle Book.
Yeah, they did do the.
So they've
Jungle
been
Book,
readapting all of their classics into live action films,
which I have a really hard time with, because
and they're gonna start getting into a territory where I don't know if it's possible. I didn't see Dumbo. I'm gonna wait for. I wasn't a big enough fan of the movie.
I saw bits and pieces of Cinderella. I saw Maleficent. I thought that they did a really cool.
That was fantastic.
I thought that was really cool because it wasn't the story of Sleeping Beauty. It was a different
Yeah.
version of it, and I was like, go for it. Like, if you
Mhm.
want to tell stories from like the villain's point of view and stuff like that, like, I'm in. Like, first day,
Yeah.
here's my ticket. You know,
Yeah.
you want to sit there and show it from the
From the villains,
you know, and have a
origin,
different-
and
right.
just like how I thought it was great. I'm not always a fan of an origin story, but I thought they really knocked that one out of the
Yeah.
park.
Like, in all honesty, if this would have been Jafar, I would have been.
Why is he the way he is? You know,
like,
like
what's his backstory?
what happened to
Why?
him?
Like, I would have been.
I agree.
100%. I would have been like, this is going to be awesome. You know, or the sea
But-
witch from Little Mermaid, whatever.
Ursula.
Or thank you. I was running. a
Well,
blank and I
they're
was-
remaking that one too, and so
right.
I think we're running up on a.
It's,
So what they're doing is they're running out of quote unquote human characters
Right.
to really be messing with,
Right.
And
we got
we're
coming
going to see,
up. Lion King.
Lion King comes out in late July.
Yeah.
So this was one thing about Aladdin that impressed me,
Mhm.
that I really appreciated, was that, in the original cartoon, one of the main characters of the movie was a talking parrot.
Right.
And he had a lot of speaking roles, and
It was Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
and he was great. That was one of my apprehensions. How are they going to handle? Basically, listen, we all know there's
Abu
CGI talking
and Iago.
animals.
Yeah.
CGI talking animals still have a long way to go.
Yeah.
Before they're even somewhat believable, and nice to watch. Every time I see it, it's like, it's very cringy to
rough.
me. The way that they handled Iago.
I didn't even mean to do that. But
The way they handled Iago in this movie, I thought they did it really well. He was still an important part of the story, but it didn't rely as much on him
And he
in a
did-
speaking role.
right, and he did talk, but it was
Like a parrot talks.
like a parrot talks, and it brought humor to it because he was, pointing out the obvious things.
Yeah,
or
I mean,
whatever. But they didn't try and make.
I suppose we should preface this by
Yeah.
saying it's really hard to spoil a movie that was made 25 years ago.
That was really
So-
hard for me. That it's like you
You're-
know the story.
You know how it's going to end.
Although they did do a little.
There's
tweak,
a
and I'll
couple
get
little
into it.
twists
And
that we
I'll
won't
get into it.
dive
Yeah.
into, so that you can experience those if you want to see the movie.
That I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I will say the ways that they did make some minor storyline changes, I appreciated. Those.
Yeah,
I thought
just-
they were really
And
good.
from a parent, because I brought my 2 daughters.
hmm
They loved it. They loved the movie, and the Jasmine character, and
I thought casting
they
was
did
spot
stuff.
on.
Yeah, female empowerment, and all of the actors did their own singing, whether that was good, bad, or indifferent.
But they did it, and
Some of them brought. I was just saying, like, because there was, and we talked briefly after I had seen it, and I really, like you, I was nervous about Will Smith just doing it. Like Robin Williams, like there's a little Disney vault in my heart.
Mhm. And Robin Williams is
and
in
it's,
there.
all those Disney movies are in there, and it's like, okay, we're gonna do this.
Arguably, in at least in my opinion, Robin Williams as the genie is arguably the most iconic Disney character
Right.
for me. I mean, aside
Oh,
from
yeah.
from Mickey Mouse himself, but for me, what it is that his personality and his voice
was the genie.
was the genie.
Yeah.
And so a lot of other characters, Scott Weiner, who played Aladdin in the original,
Mhm.
he did the voice at least in the original animated,
Right.
was replaced, and I thought he was kind of better.
Yeah.
The actress who played Jasmine, and her name Naomi Scott.
Yeah.
I thought she was fantastic.
She did really, really well, and there was a new, without spoiling it, there's a new musical, because all the songs,
Yeah, all the songs were
they're
basically the same.
At 9 out of 10, they're
Yeah.
all the same.
Within
And
10% difference, they added some things.
They
and
added, yeah,
dance breaks, and there was some really cool like Bollywood style
Right.
dance scenes, which I thought were really cool. My family, my wife especially,
right.
just she likes dancing. She's been a dancer her
Oh yeah,
whole
like
life, and
it's
so
really
she
cool
really
scenes.
enjoyed that.
There's some of the Genie's songs or whatever that started going into it, and all of a sudden it kind of breaks into like a little rap thing, and you go, "Oh,
Don't do it, and then they stop.
It pulled it off.
Yeah.
Like nice. I was just like, "Oh, Will Smith's gonna start rapping." Oh,
Please
he
don't,
didn't.
please don't,
Like,
please
and
don't.
it just
He didn't. Good.
like it was a little beatboxing
Yeah.
thing or something
Again,
like
he
that. And I was
added his own personality
like, exactly.
to. You could tell that he respected and he had a lot of reverence for what he was doing because he knew that most people feel the same way that we feel about that particular character.
Yeah.
Any of those other characters could have been acted out by any other person who fit the physical description, and I don't think anyone would have cared.
Yeah. There's a really
Not
good
that they weren't
Robin-
unremarkable performances, because they were good.
I was gonna say there's like a Robin Williams impersonator dude that's like all over the internet.
Yeah,
They could have sit there and tapped it.
could have had him
but
do it, but I'm glad that they didn't.
Right. I'm really glad that they didn't because whatever. But yeah, they all kind of pulled it off. I don't know. You know, there's some actors where you're like, hey, I know them from some, but I can't.
The most notable for me was Nasim Pedran from Saturday Night Live. I
Yes.
recognized her
right away,
immediately.
yeah.
In fact, early
And there's a cool story with her.
Yeah, and early on when the project was first announced and I saw that her name had been attached to it, I actually got kind of excited because I thought that she was going to potentially play Princess Jasmine,
Yeah, which
And-
would've been-
which would have been great.
She would have
You
been
know,
fine.
like I said, I'm familiar with her. I'd seen her for several seasons on Saturday Night Live, and I was like, that's a great fit. She's an Israeli woman, so
right.
you
And
know,
she was
I
on.
like
She did
the way
really
that they
well on New
stuck.
Girl. Yeah.
Yeah, she was great. New Girl. I like the way that they kept, ethnically appropriate actors in there. You know,
Yes.
it is good, bad, or indifferent.
There's
I
one
don't wanna-
Caucasian dude,
Yeah.
one white dude,
If there's one
But
white
it's-
dude who shouldn't be in the movie,
and it's kind of the point of it,
yeah,
of his character, that it's just like,
you don't belong here.
yeah, you don't belong here.
And but oftentimes things do get whitewashed, and without getting into a whole social justice debate. I'm glad that they stuck to an appropriate cast for this, and I thought they knocked it out of the park on that aspect as well.
Yeah, they did a. So, like I said, I was skeptic kind of going into it, and I'm still really Shazam about it. I don't know.
Okay.
And this is what I mean. Like, I really, really enjoyed it, but I found myself routinely during it, and I think I'm more of a fan because my daughters loved it.
Yeah.
You know, and so it made me love it more. You know, because they got
I get
done.
you.
It's like, but I was
This
kind
is
of.
so great.
I found myself. I was like, no one asked for this. But
You say that,
I know
and I'm gonna provide you with
Please
just
do,
one
because
quick
I'm-
counterpoint to that argument.
because I'm very much in the gray right now.
You say that nobody asked for this. However,
There's a lot of
when
movies
they-
no one asked for.
first of all, there's a lot of movies that no one asked for, but when you have live action adaptations of Beauty and the Beast,
Oh, and they do well.
Cinderella,
Yeah.
The Jungle Book, and they're knocking it out of the park.
Yeah.
At the box office, it
It's-
destroys your nobody asked for this argument
Right.
because we might not have beat down the doors asked for it, but the fact
We're
that we all show up
appreciating
and buy the tickets says
Exactly.
that we wanted it.
Exactly, and I think that's kind of going off my thing. That it's I find myself sitting there watching it and kind of going, okay, I really enjoyed it. Really okay, cool. I'm like, where did this idea come? Of remaking all these very special.
Well, I think what it really
and
came
it's-
in was when they did Cinderella, several years ago. That one came out in 2015,
Okay.
so 4 years ago.
I thought it was longer than that.
I thought it was too. Regardless, when that came out, it was a slight twist on the classic.
And I
Again,
haven't seen all of that one, so in fairness.
so it was a slight twist on the classic,
Mhm.
but it was good. And then they made Maleficent,
which was a complete
which
twist.
was a complete twist. And again, a character that Maleficent spends in her Maleficent form
Mhm.
in Sleeping Beauty
5 minutes.
5 minutes on the screen in a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
And they brought her to life in such a way that,
And they're kind of coming
and,
back again
and
to
so the
sequel.
response, they're doing a second one. The response was such that they're like, you know what?
This could be something.
Let's keep doing this.
Right, and going back to my point of if they would have done different twists. Now, we said it before, Aladdin. we knew how it was going to end. We knew how.
Yes. I knew how Beauty and the Beast was going to end too, and I still watched
Jungle Book. Exactly.
Yeah. We all know how they're going to end, but and that's why I think we did ask for it, because if we're willing to just see a different shot for shot remake of a film that we already know frontwards and backwards,
I know if we're going to,
and we're still shouting out to I don't know how much it cost you to take your kids.
Yeah, but it was.
But it was what, because you went during the day, so you got at least matinee prices.
I went on a Tuesday, so it was $5 each.
Okay, so that's nice.
But still, no, and I'm not.
But I think I paid $40 to go to the movies.
Right. In comparison to
6 people,
concession and everything like that, and you're not wrong, but also just the fact of we're going through this, and I think my own thing, I was pleasantly surprised because I was expecting to be really let down.
Yes.
Will Smith actually pulled it off with a lot of, tips of the hat to Robin Williams. He didn't try and do what Robin Williams was doing. There was lines and everything like that.
Oh, we forgot about Alice in Wonderland too.
Alice in Wonderland. There you go. Tim Burton's kind of pulling him, isn't he?
He is.
Wow. I kind of forgot about that. But Will Smith. He got to be Will Smith a lot.
He did. He got to be Will Smith.
And he's charismatic.
Which is what he's good at.
Right, and he was able to kind of pull it off and everything. And that actor that did Aladdin was very surprisingly, good. Not surprisingly. Not that I think that there's
I have no experience with that actor, so it was nice to see that it worked out really well.
And the only thing I've seen the girl that played Jasmine, the only thing I've seen her in was Power Rangers.
Yeah, she was the
Pink Ranger?
Pink Ranger.
Yeah. So I was like,
nerd.
I know that we know that. Where do we go from Power Rangers?
Let's wrap it up with.
It was really good.
Here's what's coming up over the next several years. We have live action remakes. We already talked about The Lion King. We've got the second Maleficent movie coming out. November, Lady and the Tramp. That's going to be an interesting one.
Okay.
Next March we have Mulan, which I think could actually be awesome. Pretty dope.
If they do it right.
They have a going back to the villain origin story potentially. Mm-hmm. Next December they have a movie, Cruella.
Okay.
So from 101 Dalmatians. We have Sword in the Stone, Pinocchio, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Lilo and Stitch, and The Little Mermaid that are all slated for some sort of live-action remake.
Wow.
So...
See, Sword in the Stone is one of my favorites from kid, probably just because they call him Ward the whole time.
Probably.
But that's fine.
But I mean, Aladdin raked in
really good.
$250 million over the weekend.
Yeah.
It's no Endgame. But what is?
Disney owns that one too, so they're fine.
Yeah.
They're going to be okay.
I think I'd recommend going and seeing it.
I would recommend
if you love Disney movies, go see this movie.
I was going to say, I recommend going and seeing it. If you love Disney movies, you can kind of get over that hump of it's, they're taking the cartoon, making it live action. But especially if you have kids.
Because they'll love it.
Because that made it.
Yeah.
If I would have been there, by myself or whatever, I would have been
that would have been creepy.
True. But, it wouldn't have had the same...
Had we, like we often do, go to the movies in the middle of the day.
Right.
In the middle of the week, it probably would have been a red flag.
I don't know if I would have had the same, walking out of it, I'd be we did that thing.
We did it.
Or,
no, I think having the kids there with us definitely added to the experience.
Yeah, and they were like, oh my gosh, we loved it. That was so great and everything. And I was like, done.
Cool.
So, yeah.
There it is. Go see it. Take your kids.
Yep.
Or don't.
It's up to you.
It's up to you. No. Anyway, until next time, he's Tucker.
He's Beard.
We're out.